And we're live. Hello, friends. We are here with a very special guest and friend. Honestly, Todd means the world to both Allie and I, and we know how many of you lovely people love Todd. So we are so stoked to have him here. He has been a speaker for our Ignite event in the past. We have attended multiple events with Todd. Allie actually works with Todd planning his executive amazing events. We just love you, Todd. We're so pumped to have you here. So thank you so much for joining us on this lovely evening before the eve of Canada Day.
Yes, well, you guys got that this week, and we've got 4th of July coming over the weekend here in the States. And, that's about all I'm going to mention about the States right now. It's a better silent topic.
Too funny.
But no, it's a pleasure to be here. And yeah, getting to work with you guys in any capacity is always an absolute pleasure. Love you both and consider myself one of the luckiest people on earth to have Allie's talents alongside mine in those areas that she is. I just kind of get out of the way, and I'm in shock and awe of what she produces. So awesome to be here.
I know. I can't wait till we are up and running again with events and getting to see all of you guys in real life. We have gotten so adapted. Thank God for the internet. So thankful that we can virtually connect with everybody, that I'm in Kelowna and Carly's in Cranbrook and Todd's in Colorado, that we can all still be together and connect in this capacity. And we will all see you guys so soon, 2021, for more events coming your way. But in the meantime, we get to see each other virtually, and we're really excited for this call tonight. As most of you know, last week, Carly and I launched our second course, Lead with Confidence, and we wanted to bring in someone to guest speak with us because we know Todd has so much expertise in this area as well. Speaking about confidence, leading with confidence, and really having influence when you are a confident person. So I'm going to tee up Todd to take this off, but this is such a relevant space to talk about this and gain some insight tonight.
Right on. Well, I was intrigued by the topic because so much of what we do, from even the base level classes that I do all the way through the most advanced classes, it really is about breaking down the barriers to self-leadership. You must be leader of self before you can lead anyone else anywhere. And I'm sure we've all possibly had, let's just say, whether it was a team leader, a boss, a bossy neighbor, somebody in our lives that truly wanted to lead, maybe even stepped up with a loud voice, maybe even made it very clear that it was going to be their agenda. However, there was truly no leadership involved, right? If anybody ever kind of done this, I wouldn't follow because I'm not sure you know where you're going. And so when we talk about leadership, the pinnacle of my leadership classes, when we did the 2.0 version, is called influence. Because true leadership really is influence of self, to be risking, stretching, growing, literally almost that, not afraid to say yes, not afraid to say no, but always saying yes for the right reasons, because it's in alignment with my vision. It is in alignment with my values. It truly speaks to the balance in life that I want to have. And no for the right reasons, in that not saying no because I'm afraid, or what will people think of me, or am I good enough, or can I do this? But if that makes sense, truly, again, unabashedly, not afraid to say yes or no, and saying yes for the right reasons and no for the right reasons. And I'm sure we could talk for 5 hours on that and barely scratch the surface of what that would be for each individual. But what we're going to go over tonight is truly, if you look at everything around leadership, and that's why I love the new course that you guys have created, and even down to the message behind it, because confidence truly is that piece of leadership that must be in check. In other words, humility is a good thing. Being a servant leader, leading from heart, not from dictatorship or pressing down. But confidence is one of those huge things that without it, we can't lead ourselves, we can't lead anyone. And in true leadership, you must be certain enough for yourself, and however many people are going to be in that sphere that you want to create. If it's these people in my family, I got to be certain enough for all of us at times in leadership. if it's I want to have a social influence or sphere of hundreds of people, I have to be certain and confident enough in my message, in myself, in my balance, in my agreements with myself, all the way down to my physical body, all these pieces. Because if we're not making agreements with ourselves, you will see that transfer in, again, one of the topics we're going to take on about leadership communication. Been around people where you can hear the music, but it just doesn't match the beat, all of these things. Yeah. And so to start off with tonight, I thought I'd tell a story because it is the most amazing story that I know about confidence. And so it goes like this. There was a business executive and he was truly deep in debt, right? Started his own business, took on all this overhead. One of the things that we're lucky you don't have to do in many of the venues that you both run in, but traditional brick and mortar business. And he was so deep in debt, he couldn't see a way out. I mean, to the point where creditors were closing in on him, suppliers were demanding payment or they were going to shut him down. And he just didn't know what to do. And so he got himself out of the office because he didn't want to fall apart in front of, everybody that he knew had to still see him at that space of leadership, right? And so he walked to a park and he was sitting on a park bench and his head were in his hands. He was lamenting. He was obviously in some distress. And suddenly an old man approached him and appeared and he said, "I can see that something's troubling you," he said, and they began to talk. And after listening to the executive's woes, this old man said, "I believe I can help you." He asked the man his name, the one that was the executive, and without anything more, he wrote out a check. And he pushed it into the hands of this executive saying, "Take my money, and I'm going to ask that you meet me here in exactly 1 year from today, and you can pay me back at that time. I believe in you." And so this man turned around, he disappeared as quickly as he had shown up, and the businessman broke out this check that had been pushed into his hands and took a look at it, and it was a check for $500,000, $500,000, and signed by John D. Rockefeller, obviously one of the richest men during that time. And so this executive was overwhelmed with relief. In fact, he realized that I can erase all my money worries right now in an instant. And he realized it, but instead of cashing the check, what he did was he put the uncashed check in the safe, and he thought that just knowing that that check was there might give him the freedom to maybe even figure it out himself, right? Because he's always been a self-sufficient person. And so with renewed optimism, he negotiated better deals, he extended terms of payment, he closed several huge sales, and within a few months, he was actually out of debt and making money again. And so to keep to his word, exactly 1 year later, at the agreed upon time, he showed back up at this park. And again, that old man appeared. And this time, before he could even thank the man, tell him the miraculous story, put the check back in his hands, this nurse came and grabbed this old man's arm and said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope he hasn't been bothering you." He constantly is escaping from the nursing home and telling people that he's John D. Rockefeller. "I hope he hasn't bothered you."
Wow.
And it was in that moment that this executive realized that it was never about the money. It was as if having what he thought, even though it really wasn't, $500,000 in the bank, he operated from that confidence as if he did. He led from that point. And so what he realized is it was never about the money. It never was. It was about the way he felt about himself, about his leadership, about his confidence. And I chose to tell that story tonight because it is so true. And that's why I'm so glad that you guys created this course, because I do a lot of work around the topics of be, do, have in leadership. So many people think they got to have something or do something that proves them before they allow themselves to be that miraculous, amazing leader that is in them. And so that confidence, whether it comes from a bogus check that would have bounced as high as any basketball in the world in this new TikTok challenge I see, beers would have been flying. Where does that inner confidence come from? And, we've all had it. We've even maybe bathed in it at times, but we all can fall out of it. In this time of not sure what my path of the last 20 years is going to look like going forward, because as much as I love curriculum of all sorts, I truly believe most in experiential curriculum. And to not know if I'm going to be on the road, everything just as it was opening up is getting shut back down. I had some huge gigs over in London, you name it, and obviously they don't want the US citizens over there with the way we're handling ourselves. I just don't know. And so I'm at that same spot. I could choose to fall back, start to doubt, start to question, start to worry, start to be inactive, start to maybe even focus on all the obstacles more so than the opportunities. And that's why I think tonight is a timely topic. And I'm going to be speaking to myself this evening as well as everybody else, because I'm in that time of this is perfect. And that's why I'm so excited you guys asked, because this, I'm just going to say, this opportunity is one I needed as well to tap back in. Yeah. And so where I want to go is there's some main reasons that a leader needs to be confident, and they may not be the ones you think. We talked about that. Confidence in check, right? Not cocky, not braggadocious, not Todd Campbell in his 20s, none of that. But literally that person that you would follow, even if it's just you and you look in the mirror and go, I would follow you. That's a big thing. And again, if you won't follow you, how could you expect anybody else to? It's why I'll say it just straight out. Any investments you can make in taking on your leadership, whether you want to be a better leader of household, a better leader of family, a better leader in your community, a better leader in your business, a better leader, maybe the leader that finally gives themselves permission to start their own business, take their life into their hands. These things are going to be essential. And so, number one that we're going to go over, a confident leader has a vision and the courage to make it happen. By courage, I mean action, even when it is scary, even when it is, God, petrifying, even when you feel like you're paralyzed in it. To have a vision that means enough to you. You've heard it this way, a compelling why. In other words, something that if you looked at will and fortitude and all these things is like a reserve in the bank, like an overdraft, like that $500,000 check in your safe that you can draw from because, again, you care that much. And confident leaders always have a vision. They know where they want to go. They know what they want to accomplish. Here's the other thing is they're not afraid to share it. How many people just drop, if you would, a comment, yes, this applies to me, no, this doesn't apply, so just a yes or no. How many of us come up with these big dreams, these things that sing to our heart that would really light up our passions, the things that we want to do, and we know that we are called to do this. We may even know or even have the feeling we were put on this planet to make that difference, and we'll share that dream. And oftentimes, someone else's reality will poke a hole in that dream, right? Like a balloon. And once we've shared our dreams with one person, they poked a hole in it, it's very unlikely we'll share it with a second. By the time we've shared it with 3 people and they have crapped on our dream, we shut up. We don't say anything to anybody anymore. And that's what I love about the community that you guys have truly grown here, and the support that's in it, and the place that you can share your big audacious goals, and no one's going to try and crab you and pull you back down. If anything, they're going to find out how they can support, where they can go, how they can journey with you. But again, that vision, that confidence of where you're going. A leader becomes courageous when they're willing to fight for something. And a courageous leader will always have people following them. And again, even if it's just you and you look at yourself at the end of the day and you go, you know what? I'm so in integrity with myself. That feeling where you go to bed literally at peace and wake up ready to take on another journey. And so, you got to be courageous to continue to move in that direction, because how many of you would say that if the dream is not worthy of you, it will not cause fear and it will not cause need for growth? It's a dream that's worthy of people that will cause this courage. And my big thing that maybe is a side note, set some big goals, set some big dreams, invest in yourself. If you are not literally standing on the edge of your comfort zone as far as what you feel you're capable of, where you feel you could be, if you're not leaning into your future, you're treading back into the past. So that vision is very important. I would have to guess that, in this course on leadership, you guys I would have to imagine that that might even be a component of it. Am I correct in that?
Yeah. It's a big thing that Carly and I talk about. It's even more amplified in our Level Up Your Leadership course, our PACE course. We really get into vision, but we talk heavily about creating a legacy. And this is something where you're creating a vision for yourself and your life, but also a legacy for the people that you're going to impact too, leaving that legacy behind for other people. That's such a key component. So having that driving force inside yourself saying like, yes, I want to show up. Yes, I want to do this, but it's happens all the time that we build these big goals and big dreams, and the people around us will constantly shoot it down. That's unrealistic. You'll probably never get there. I don't think so. And then we listen to these voices, and that one voice inside ourselves that said like, you can do it. The 5 voices that said, you probably can't. We listen to that more than we ever listen to ourselves. So that's why we talk about this confidence. It's being confident enough to stand up for yourself and own your dream. You can dream whatever you want to dream, and you're allowed to. That's the gift of humanity, is you're allowed to have your big, badass dreams. And the tribe that you surround yourself with, if they want to shoot it down every single day, come here, come into this group, come to us, find a new tribe that you tell them that big, badass goal, and you're like, F yeah, like that's incredible. Like that's what I want. And if someone shoots it down, I still own it enough for myself to go, you're not ready for your own dreams, but that's okay for you, but I am. And it's not to say that they're never going to be my friend or family or whatever, but it's still owning it for myself. So I don't allow, again, like Todd said, that I'm standing right on the edge, ready to jump. And then I just backslide back into my comfort of like, you know what, you guys are probably right. That was a big, crazy goal. I'll just cancel out.
Well,
and then we stay.
Hugely. And I think something important to say there, and this is why I love the interaction I get to have with you and Carly, because you cause me to think. The beautiful thing is over the past 20 years, I knew what I wanted to do. You know, I mean, I have a tattoo on my body, world peace, one mind at a time. It's got to be an individual choice for each and every human being that they've got to choose into their greatness. That's when all animosity, greed, so many of the things that we're seeing go on right now that I don't think sits well with anybody, no matter what side you're on. Everybody intuitively knows there's a better way. But it's when we literally, we don't have to know how to do it all. Courage means taking the step. Courage means surrounding yourself with communities of support. Courage means taking the next step, taking the next class, the next opportunity that's going to even level you up this much. Because you will attract a tribe, just as we're talking about, that I don't have to know how to do everything. I got somebody that is 100% proof and evidence of that on the line with me right now, or on this call with us right now. Allie, you know that there's spots where my competency, let's just say, ends, yes?
Yeah.
and these things, that when we talk and we brainstorm and we want to do these amazing events and all the intricacies of them and all the little pieces and everything else, and some of it I can't even explain to 100% what I want. I know what I want to feel. And then somebody else can pick it up. If you got somebody as talented as Allie around, everything else, make that. And that's the beauty. So don't ever forget that. People cannot follow you if you're not in motion. And out of getting in motion, that's where those people that will either walk with you, beside you, because leadership, again, is not even about being, if you will, in front. You can lead from the side, you can lead from behind, but get in movement so people can go with you. Yeah. And the other thing I'd say about it, you don't have to know how to do it all, and that's okay. The one thing that's not okay is to shut down on that dream, because I think there's some people waking up right now at this time with all the chaos that's going on. The one great thing, because there's balance in everything, there is nothing negative or positive, there's a balance in each. So many people are being called right now almost as if the world is shaking them. Wake up. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Because if there's ever been a better time to reinvent yourself, step into a new leadership, I've not seen it. And so this is the cool stuff. Something goes along with everything we've been saying. You have to be confident in your communication. I have never followed somebody that said, so, Allie, I got this thing that means a lot to me. It's kind of a project. We could go attend this meeting. I would really love to have you on my team, have your support, but I don't know how good it's going to be. And I don't want to waste your time. And, you're probably too busy. And so, yeah, we should probably just bag it anyway, right?
She never would have said yes.
Confident in communication, in other words, again, you choose your words carefully to really look at what that's going to inspire in others around me. And when you really look at it, would it be a different story, Ali, if I came to you and said, oh my God, Ali, we got an opportunity to make a difference to thousands of lives. These people are so amazing. They've signed up. They have taken a risk. They want to put themselves out on the edge. And I would love for you to come with me because I know that they deserve more than I can bring on my own. And I can't wait for you to be on that stage and shine that light and really be with them in the way I want to see them experience everything else. I don't care what it is. Cancel it all. We're going. That's a little more enrolling.
Yes.
And so, that intention that you have in communication, it's always going to remain positive. It's always going to be about the outcome. And I'm not telling you to lie here. Sometimes in communication, I think everybody's seen we can blow it up and look at this, or let me, overspeak myself or oversell myself or talk about all my accolades. In communication, especially in leadership, maybe you've heard it this way, be interested, even more than interesting. When you state that dream, that goal, then be interested in why that person would want to be a part of it, what part of it calls to them, what part of alignment there is, and if there isn't, how can we support each other differently? And you'll be amazed at what that can do in leadership. So communication is a big thing.
We talk about communication so much. This is such a big topic for Ambition Babes, and especially like the listening component. And you guys can answer this in the comments, but communicators in your life where you feel like they're either just like listening to respond, they're like interrupters, and they want to like get in their piece, and you're just like, are you even listening to me? Mm-hmm. And that's the same as Todd said, like, are you interested in me, or are you just trying to be interesting? And as a leader, communication is one of the key foundations, because you're communicating with everyone all the time. And the key person that you're communicating with is yourself. You're in the longest relationship you'll ever have is with you. And you are going to be communicating with yourself more than anybody else, because there is a voice inside your head that is on all the time, telling you all the things. That subconscious mind is just taken away in there. And often that voice can be the harshest one in your life. You'll never be a success. You shouldn't go to that event. What were you thinking with that dream? You shouldn't, like, it's like this awful voice. And it takes a lot of work and energy to learn how to subdue that voice and say, that's enough, and believe and love yourself enough to own your own message and to really fight for that. So then you can shine through and communicate that with others, whether that's your children or your spouse or your employees or coworkers. We're in constant communication. And when you can really bring that piece in where you know how to communicate at a higher capacity and learn to listen more, even understanding your own nonverbal, there's so many elements just on communication alone, but it will significantly advance your leadership when you really listen to people, because that's a servant leader. Otherwise, you're at a boss level, bosses where you just feel like you're being talked at or talked down to, versus being listened to and considered and giving feedback and having a two-way conversation. So that is a really, really key component. And it makes you feel more confident about yourself when you can effectively communicate. Like Todd gave that example. If he was like, well, I've got something planned and maybe it's like that, to me, I'm like, it seems a little shaky. Are you sure you want to do this? Is this like, do I want to get on board? You don't really seem like you're owning your message. But if he came at me confidently giving me that message, I'm like, yeah, I'm hearing you. And you're like, you're eloquent, your points are coming through, you have energy in your voice. That is key communication. And then that also gets people to sign on board with you. Like, I want to follow Todd.
Well, true leadership, true influence is getting people to do what it is you want them to do, but for their unique, inspired reasons. For their unique, inspired reasons. And that's a big thing in leadership. Influence is a huge piece. And so, number 3 probably isn't going to come as a big surprise, because it's been very well summed up with what we were discussing there, Ali and I, and that is, self-confidence. That's the biggest thing, again, we're going over all these pieces, but self-confidence will make a leader have sufficient trust and belief in their capabilities and actions. That person will be noticed at any level, literally. I can walk into a room and, not to tout myself, but I can own that room of 100 people within 5 minutes. And true leaders, this is even how they pick leaders in military branches, you name it, they don't have to get everybody. They just got to get the 3 biggest influencers in the room to join their cause, and the whole room will move with them. And so, there's all of these pieces, but that confidence, again, so much of it comes from self-alignment. If you are walking your walk, talking your talk, that's why I love that you guys put together this program on all those anchors in leadership to really give somebody a foundation. Because I'll just tell you, if you're off balance, if you can't trust what's coming out of your mouth because you haven't been able to trust what you've been putting in it, not even controlling your diet, these things, it comes across. We get exactly what we will tolerate. We talked about this before. The reason you have the amount of money in your bank account you have right now is because that's the bare minimum you tolerate. The reason you may be in the physical stature or shape you're in is because that may be the bare minimum you will accept. All these pieces. So again, understand the core behind every one of these topics we're going to talk about is that foundation of truly having that balance in all 4 of your anchors in your quadrant, and really being in movement, flow, and gratitude with those areas is the, if you will, caveat to everything we're going to bring up tonight. I think that goes without saying, but we're going to say it because it is so important. And so, the other part of this, another piece anyway, number 4, significance of others. We started talking about, because Ali, you went so eloquently on, so many people are listening to respond or to be right or even to make you wrong, but very few people really give other people the space to, in that communication, as you mentioned the word boss. When a boss talks to you, you leave and they're important. When a leader talks to you, you leave that conversation knowing you are significant and you matter. And so we've heard these things, but a self-confident leader, again, makes others feel significant around him. They let a team be responsible for them and feel credible. On my team, if we win, it's because my team was amazing.
Yeah.
If we don't, I look at what I didn't do in leadership or could have done better. And so, you with that confidence, again, a confident leader, under such leaders, the team develops, it outshines, they feel important, and they literally work completely with each other. Now, again, this doesn't have to be in a corporate setting. This could be in a family. This can be even, again, in a PTA system for the children. I was the head of the PTA for my kids' school for a little while. It was funny. All the other parents were bickering. It wasn't about the kids. We came in, made it about the kids again, and I was able to go back to what I do best and leave them to do what they do best. But that confidence. And here's the thing along with confidence, and then I want to turn it over to you guys because we've kind of digested a lot here, but confidence truly brings satisfaction. When you create a result, let's just say by fluke, by manipulation, by non-alignment, there's not even satisfaction in that win. When you're in that alignment, confidence truly brings satisfaction. Confidence makes that leader in you happy about leading other people, handling those regular risks, about, positive, self-motivated. They accept any task coming their way with a go-to attitude. It literally proves inspiring and influencing to others, in your area, in your sphere. When a confident leader handles and feels pleased with the value, those buoyant leaders that always rise up to the top, and you're starting to see how all these things fit together. So I'd love to hear a little bit from either one of you have anything, because again, this is how much value can we as a tribe give, not how much value can I say.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like confidence is the underlying piece that builds that happiness, that success, that fulfillment, those pieces in your life of what we deserve. And if we don't love ourselves and we're not leading for ourselves and have this self-confidence, as you talked about, how can we expect anyone to fully be in a connected relationship with us or follow us or rise to the top with us, because we don't feel it in ourselves. Like you said, when you walk in a room, many of you guys have had the privilege of meeting Todd in person. He's usually quite dapper in his suit, and he'll come walking in and he just instantly, you're just drawn to him. And many people are like that because they have that inner confidence. There's a difference between arrogance, because often that's a fake confidence. They're putting on a show. So many of us hide behind masks, and we might use shyness. We might use arrogance. We might use, like the bitch face or whatever. What's that name of the
standing or resting bitch face?
Resting bitch face. I feel like I don't really have that. I'm always like this standing big smile. But we kind of hide behind these masks, and that's a lot about what Allie and I talk about in our course, and just in Ambition Babes in general, is authentically being you. And wouldn't it be nice to just authentically be confident? And you're not born like that. It takes time to grow into it and build the skills. You need help. If you're struggling in that area, pick up a book around confidence, take a course, do something to build yourself, because you deserve to be in that light and to have people look at you, and for you to look at yourself. Because if you've ever done something, maybe it was a good mark on a test, or your parents told you were proud of yourself, or you looked in the mirror and you were just proud, or something was going on. There's been a moment in your life when you felt a level of confidence and self-love. There's been moments. It may have been fleeting, and that's what you're struggling with. Like, why can't I hold on to that? I see Allie so confident. I see Todd so confident. Carly, whatever. Why can't I have that? You can, but you're choosing to live in the scarcity and a lack of thinking, well, it's not possible for me. I'm not good enough. I have to wear this mask to just go to work or even be in my relationship. I can't be confident. I don't know how. You need to look for people to help you, because it is possible, and you've had those moments before, so you know what that feels like. You can have that all the time. You can have that on a consistent basis, and when you can have that, imagine what you can create. You can get the best relationships that have ever come into your life. Friends, romantic, whatever. You deserve it. You will treat your body like a temple because you feel friggin' great, and you're excited every single day to treat yourself well. You will have success in business and wealth generation. We talk about money mindset in our course because that's a huge piece, but you ain't going to be attracting beautiful sums of money into your life, great customers and all these things if you don't believe in who you are and what you're doing. People are not going to be attracted to that.
You'll be chasing and trying to sell people versus attracting.
Yeah, exactly.
But, Carly, and not to ever contradict anything, but I know you and I see this the same. When we say that, you're not born that way. The funny thing is, actually, we are born that way. And then we grow out of it, because, again, how many of you have ever seen, like what Carly was talking about, those moments of pride? If you've ever watched a child under 5, they do not even get taught it. They don't know even how to do it, but just instinctively, they do the ta-da. We can look at the psychology of that pose. You've seen every gold-winning athlete do this instinctively, because it is, and we know how to celebrate ourselves, and we know how to love ourselves, and we know how to think we're amazing at everything and not care who's looking everything until our human psyche gets about 7 years old, and we have to then, and we could go on a long journey here, but then we start to identify a story or a meaning about everything that happens, and we have to, that cognitive reasoning in our brain starts to show up, where we start to compare and despair, and I've got to be this for this person, and I've got to, as you said, those rackets, those masks we wear come out of that. Of when I forget who I really am in the world, I start to wonder who the world needs me to be, who my relationship needs me to be, who this person, and it's almost as if, again, having to stop and find phone booths constantly, go in and switch outfits and uniforms, and we spend so much of our life then in transition, not in ownership of self. Yeah. And if you see anything as far as confidence goes, and trust me, I do not take it lightly that I've done the work on myself, that I wouldn't trade being me with anybody on the face of this planet. I do not feel I'm above anybody on the face of this planet, and I definitely know no one is below me on the face of this planet, but I wouldn't want to be anybody but me. But that's that deep work we're talking about. That's why I want to be a forever student. And getting to those spaces where we go back to what is natural for us, not what's become normal. What's become normal is to not want the ball in the last 5 seconds of the game, because what if I miss the shot? Not to take the risk, because what if I fail? Not to put myself even out there on social media when I paid thousands and thousands for a class that is about marketing, but yet I won't put myself out there because what will people think of me? That's what's become normal. What was natural was the ta-da. And in leadership, to get back to that, so much of everything you said, Carly, is just so dead on with that, and why I'm so excited for if this, hour we spend together sparks even one thing in anybody on this call that sees it in replay or live that says, you know what? I forgot how awesome I am. I forgot that piece of me exists. You know what? I haven't nurtured that part of me in a while. You know what? I haven't had let's just say, expounded my boundaries there, taken a risk lately. It's easy to forget because again, we go back to what's normal. What's normal in today's society is stagnation. What is natural is to be in a state of growth and positivity and gratitude, never ending. The human body's designed to live up to 170 years.
Holy.
Oh, physically, medically proven, but the hedge bettors, I hope I don't offend anybody. If there's anybody in the life insurance industry on with us, go ahead and just say me, and I will say I'm sorry, but they are the best hedge bettors out there, smarter and better than the odds makers in Vegas, anything. And that's why you cannot, in the States, I don't know how it is in Canada, but you cannot get whole term life insurance after the age of 77, period, because they have done the odds so well that based on the satisfaction levels of people, let's just say the stress, all of these things, and it goes down in times of high stress because they're not stepping into leadership. They are getting things taken away from them in their opinion that they deserve or not stepping up. You are guaranteed by those statistics to be dead, broke, or in poor physical health by age 77 or sooner in both our countries at this state right now. But it's everything we're talking about. I mean, if there's ever been a time to step into leadership of self, to find a new light, to start to shine on the destinations you want to go, this is it. That's why I think this call is so timely.
I love this. And I just love, I just feel like for everybody, like there's just never a point in your life that you can't decide to grow. You are not just frozen in time and we're just stuck in the ice block of like, okay, this is who I am and I can never ever change or evolve. Like, you are a butterfly and you're allowed to grow wings. Like, we are all allowed to grow and evolve, and you don't have to be held to who you were yesterday. I'm allowed to be Ali 2.0 and then 2.5 and 3.0 and 3.5 and 4. I'm allowed to grow. And there's a lot of people in our lives that are like, nope, I knew you when you were 20 and you were wild. So that must mean at 34, you're still the same old girl. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm not. Like, that's the thing, is that's the beauty of it, is other people will hold us back and they will hold us to who we used to be. And then we stay frozen in our past and we just look at this chapter in our life and we're reading the same pages over and over and over again, wondering, why is nothing changing? And we pick up the pen to write a new chapter and we just write the exact same shit that we've written for the last 20 years. And we wonder, why my life isn't changing? It takes real work to change. Carly and I have invested thousands of dollars into mentorship, coaches, events, books, personal development, because we made a distinct decision. We made a decision to change. Yes. We both said enough is enough. We're plateauing in our life and we have big ass dreams and big ass goals, and we're not getting there at the current version of ourselves. So if I don't actually invest into myself and into my energy and into my space, nothing's changing at the current level that I'm at. And that is the beauty of evolution, is we are allowed to grow and grow again and grow some more and grow some more. But that takes concerted effort. It doesn't just happen at the snap of a finger. My children are wild right now. But that's the thing, is I think we can all talk about this, but it takes action. It takes doing. It takes making a decision to actually say, today I'm not gonna accept who I am anymore. I want to be different. And it's not that the version of me right now isn't great, but there's a version of me that's even greater, and I want that greatness.
But this is such a topic about why leadership is involved in that change. You want to test on leadership? Freaking take a jump into leadership. Because it's just, everything you say gets me fired up, because even in our verbiage, people are afraid of change. Human beings want change, afraid of it. What if you just replace the word change with, I will no longer settle? No more settling. Because change has even been invoked into us from these peer groups that'll try and pull us down, this, that, and the other, because of, oh, you've changed. Oh, we're not. Bottom line is, they don't want you to change if they want to stay comfortable, because you're either in growth or decay, period. One thing that I'm very clear of, I always hold space for people to come with me. They may not be ready to move, but I am not stopping, so I'll hold a space. If you want to catch up, come on. But the other thing is, it's counterintuitive. Human beings, think about this. This is awesome. And you guys may already know this. Human beings, the only species on the planet that can see ourselves outside of our current conditions. In other words, to dream, to see bigger, to actually have the availability of choice. And then we don't. And then oftentimes we can slip back. And that is one thing too. That's why, as you both said, constant growth. You guys are about to go possibly be around family, everything. We got 4th of July coming up. We got Canada Day, all these things coming up. And chances are you're going to see friends, family, everything else. And isn't that always the toughest place to be the biggest leader of change, is when you go back to familiar settings, go back to, as you said, friends that you've known for a long time, or family members, because that's where the old paradigms boxes tend to be. Do me a favor. Don't be afraid of that. Bust it up. You know what's fun? My family, anytime they know I'm coming, they're like, oh shit, what's going to happen now? It's not, one thing I hope they never say about me is, boy, there goes the same old Todd Campbell. Mm-hmm. If I'm not growing, evolving every day, what's the point? Yep. And so this is all just so timely. This is perfect. And fun thing is confidence. It builds strong relationships. When you can be confident in who you are and able to step up in a relationship and give everything of you with no holdback, but also receive with no settling, to do all these pieces, friendships, huge difference. I'm going to say parent to child relationships, magnanimous difference. Part of that is me seeing how much my boys have to teach me at this point. Another thing, intimate relationships. 30 years with my wife, and she's been happy for the last 24. Yeah, it was about 7 years into our marriage before I found personal growth and development of any kind. Before that, it was a little rough. But if you want to grow as a couple, even, I know some people have come to me and said, well, Todd, I can't take that class. My husband, he's stuck in his ways. He's going to see that as an insult, or he's not going to support me in that. And it's not a male-female thing. I've heard it both ways. If one person in the relationship is growing, both people are having an opportunity for something new in the relationship. And to not be that leader to basically say, well, okay, I know this person's more poised against growth than I am, but we're stagnant. And it's not a bad thing. We all get there. It's like a pond. It's got to turn after a while. Even to take that leap. Because again, confidence will make leaders ambitious. Yeah, I love it. Ambition based, yes?
Yeah.
Confidence will truly make you ambitious. With newfound confidence and working on that self. If you've ever said, I'm a procrastinator, I'm just lazy, I talk a good game, I don't get around to it, everything else, confidence is the key. Not buying a new day timer that you're going to throw out next week because you're already off schedule with it. Not setting goals that you're not keeping. Confidence. That's a huge one. And confidence also will make you calm. Perfect self-expression. Something a human being that true leaders have, right? To be able to be vulnerable, but be strong, to be able to, let's just say, get very passionate, but also draw the line, to even be calm, but yet be able to be very excited in the moment, passionate, all of these things. It's called a groundedness, right? And in that strange, that confidence can even make you calm, self-assured. That's where true confidence can be seen totally different than cocky or arrogant.
Yeah.
And so the best thing about true leadership, in my opinion, no matter how you get there, no matter, the journey may look different for everybody, but to get to self-leadership, leader of self, therefore others can follow in a perfect expression of my heart, my talents, and everything that I can bring to the party, you can actually acknowledge feedback from there. Feedback is the greatest gift in our life. It is given for our growth, but oftentimes we cannot even accept feedback. And granted, you're going to get feedback from some people that are haters or jealous. Look at the feedback. If it fits, own it and be confident enough to do something about it. If somebody comes to me and says, boys, people were talking shit about you, Todd. Well, there's a couple questions. Number one, really, how long did you let that go on? Because that lets me know what kind of friends we are. But you know, if they're talking crap about me, I'll just find out what it was. And I only worry about it if it's true. And if it's true, I use it and look at what I can do about myself. If not, so understand with feedback, you don't have to wear anything that's not yours, but to be confident enough to take a look. Because when you get to that point of confidence, it's kind of like, you know, maybe you've heard me talk about this topic before. When a plane leaves in, let's just say Colorado, and is flying to Honolulu, if it's even a few degrees off course, it's going to land in the water and not hit the island. Mm-hmm. But if it might not surprise anybody. You know that plane is actually off course about 80% of the time. Now, not way off course, not like it's, you know, going to hit another plane. However, a degree off here, a degree off there, with shifting winds, all these things. But the way the pilot or the autopilot takes the feedback, it's never, hey, idiot, you're off course. It's never, hey, you stupid da-da-da. It's never, you suck, you're not worthy. It's you're 1 degree off course to the right. You're 1 degree off course to the left. And to be able to take that feedback that way from your results, from the world, from your team, from your spouse, from your children, this is one of the gifts of leadership that I think oftentimes isn't seen, is the gift of true feedback that you can see through the eyes of the people you love, the world, everything. And you get to those spaces of leadership, it is insane how incrementally every day you can get better and bolder and more effective in all those areas.
Love it. That's so good. And I just want to tag in on what you had said just about that feeling of peace. There is something, I can't even describe it. It took me years to get to this place. And it was a lot of work that I had to invest into myself and into, you know, old barriers, old past beliefs, old limitations, and old excuses that I hung on to for so long, an old story that I just couldn't let go of, until I finally was able to do some work and kind of release myself from my own chains. I wrapped myself up in my own bullshit. I did that. I did. No one came and shackled me up to my bullshit. I did. And I had to own that, because a lot of times we'll play victim in our own lives and we stay stuck in our traumas. And trust me, we all have them, and it's all different for each of us, but we stay stuck in it. And if we don't actually recognize that the key to our own power is within us, no one is going to come with the key for you and remove your chains. It has to be you. It has to be. So I had to recognize that. And once I unshackled my bullshit, the peace that came over me by knowing my own self-assurity of who I was, I cannot even explain the feeling. You just feel like you just know yourself and you own your soul and you're just so content inside. It is just this wave that washes over you. And it is such a blissful place to get to, where you're just so content with who you are and no one else's shit will matter to you, because you just feel like, no, I know who I am and I'm confident in that. And that beams through, as it does on these calls. From any of us, you'll see that comes through. It shines through our soul, because we're very comfortable with who we are in our skin and we're happy with our souls. But we've had to do the work to get to that place. Again, this didn't just happen overnight for any of us. It was when we made a decision, a decisive moment that came. And maybe it'll be that moment for you today, where it's like, you know what? I am maybe sick of my own BS. I'm sick of the story I keep telling myself, and I'm done listening to that voice. So we are action takers. The three of us are all dead set on taking action in our lives, because we don't want to fall back into that comfort zone. We always want to be being pushed forward, being pushed into our next adventure. For Todd, he's an experiential person. He hosts events all year long. He connects with people in person. He's had to make a huge shift, going into an online space, building out different styles of curriculum. He could have backslided and gone, well, this happened to me this year, so just victim myself up and shackle myself at home. He didn't. He chose to embrace a new path. So that's the thing, is you can look at adversity in multiple ways, but you can look at it as an opportunity. And looking at tonight as an opportunity. Why did I end up on this call? Why was I meant to hear this message? And if there's one little nugget that you're able to take away, share that, share your takeaways, but take action in your life. If you're not on a path that's bringing you joy and fulfillment and success and balance and harmony, if that isn't happening, that's on us. Life is not happening to me, it's happening for me. And owning that is just such a beautiful place to get to.
And there's always an area to step up, because you're right, I could have stepped back, but then I would have had to take a look at, I say that I'm here to make a difference to people. That's been my life's work. Okay, well, the mechanic I was using no longer exists. okay, well, if I would have shut down then I'm completely full of shit and I'm not true to who I say I am or what I really believe. And that's the beauty in it. And it's okay because we are all full of it at sometimes. Mm-hmm. The difference is to stop settling for that of self. Because if there's even a part of you, I'm going to just end it here on my part. If there's even a part of you that knows you want to be more, do more, have more, that there are unfulfilled dreams, take action. Even if it was action in the wrong direction, you will find leadership, even if it's figuring out how to get the fuck back out of where you just came from.
Yes.
But take action. Action trumps everything. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys to wrap it up. I hope their next action is to truly join you on this journey you have with the new course that you have. And we've even got more material we could have covered. So maybe there'll be a second call. We'll see.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Todd. We know you have another meeting to get to, so we just truly appreciate your time. This has been an incredible hour. I know I took notes just mentally thinking about, okay, even Allie and I create these courses for others, but as we've said before, we create this for ourselves to keep ourselves accountable. And when you are in it, when you are committed with a group, with a tribe, that really does make all the difference. And so we are so excited to be bringing on more people to our tribe so that we can move together as one and we can all grow, because Allie and I, we truly believe that everyone has the ability and capacity to be a leader. They're just missing that belief in themselves, that confidence. And we talk so much about why building confidence is important. So if that piece is missing, again, let's do some work. Let's take some action. Let's make some changes. Again, it's only up to you. You have the key. We have kind of like this map, right? And we want to help give it to more people so that they can believe in themselves. No matter if you're a mom, if you're a working person, if you're a CEO, doesn't matter. This course is for anyone at any stage of their life. You do not need to already be a leader. But if you're feeling stuck and feeling like you don't have quite the direction, you're feeling unbalanced, you're feeling overwhelmed and distressed, and days are just slipping by and you're thinking, am I even living? Am I enjoying this life? It's time to take action. So again, thank you so much, Todd. Honestly, you're just so incredible. We just love you to bits. And yeah, Allie, do you have anything else? We want to get our link up here if anyone is wanting to check out the details. We've got a whole bunch of bonuses right now that are available. You get $25 off right now if you use a discount code. All the details are on that link right there on the screen. And we also have a hypnotherapy mini series that we are gifting to everyone who purchases. And they get a second login to send to a friend or family member, because we truly believe that a lot of that, we talked about it tonight, that subconscious thinking, and from your past, everything that has happened, you develop the story, how you can reprogram that. Hypnotherapy is a really great way and a really great tool, but we also dive super deep into that, how you can reprogram that limiting belief within our course and our workbook. So yeah, tons of really great bonuses going on right now, and just excited for you guys to join and to take action, like we said so much tonight.
Love it. I'm stoked. Definitely, we've had a bunch of girls already getting started on the course. So thank you to everyone who's been signing up. It's incredible to see you guys taking action. Todd, there was a question that came up. If you're able to quickly answer, did you see it?
So as far as the Inside event for Kelowna, I will be making an announcement no later than August, because we are waiting on new things from Borders, all of these pieces. And by August, I am guaranteed we're going to have more sustainable information. We just hate to put something out and retract it. Here's the deal. The second they'll let me across the border and we can do a group of 75 or more, we're doing it, because I got the most amazing person on my team that works beside me that will put the plans together immediately. As far as the best personal development book, there are so many phenomenal ones, but I'm just going to take one that is literally about servant leader, especially because it fits into topic tonight, and it's called The Go-Giver. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal book. If you've ever wanted to know why you want to lead, why you want to give, and literally where, let's just say, leadership is not a position, it is a beingness, it's a phenomenal book. So with that being said, ladies, I'm going to hop out. Thank you for having me, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Amazing, Todd. Thank you so much.
We'll see you.
Oh,
he's so good. Guys, is he not the best?
Can we just share comments? Can everyone just say, love you, Todd? I know it's just love, but that love and energy goes right on to him. But gosh, he just is a plethora and wealth of knowledge. I'm so glad that he has become such a dear friend to both Carly and myself. And again, such unique opportunities and circumstances that came from us taking chances in our lives and us saying yes to things is how we've been able to connect with Todd and connect with so many different people and start to build this tribe around us that we then get to share with you. So you get to have those experiences. So really unshackle yourself. Feel free to break the chains that you have done to yourself. And I'll own that too. I did it to me. Carly did it to herself. Listening to the same bullshit story. I said it all the time. And it really is a concerted effort. You don't just born confident and then we just like come out the womb like, whoa, I'm confident. Like it takes energy and effort, and it is a choice. And it is a choice to stay exactly where you are. So if you want something different and if you want to change, we're here to support you in that journey. We're excited. Yeah, I might kidnap Todd too. We can never get to him. We're excited for you guys. We're excited for the ladies that have been taking action, getting started in the course. Carly and I will continue to bring you value, all the goodies, lots of different takeovers coming up planned for our Instagram. We just want to bring you guys things so that we know, again, as servant leaders, that we're serving you in your highest capacity so that you're benefiting from being in this group with us and continuing to get value.
Amazing. So great, you guys. So if anyone has any questions, even tonight on the content that we were talking about, what Todd was talking about, if it's a direct question for Todd, we'll seek him out. I'm sure he would answer. He's just so amazing. So please let us know if you have any questions. Also, if you have any specific questions about our course, you know, what's included, different topic areas, you know, whatever it is, definitely drop it in there or directly message us. We're happy to, you know, let you in on whatever it is that you're feeling that you're needing to take this decision. But really what I will say, like I was even talking to a gal today and she was like telling herself like, well, I'm just afraid to take it because I'm afraid I might fail and like not do as well as I had hoped. And I'm like, that's literally exactly the reason why you should take it. Because that's what we talk about. We talk about addressing that voice that's telling you, you haven't even started anything yet and you're already stressed out about it. Take this course away. What else? How is that showing up in your life in other areas, right? So really taking a look at how you can start addressing that voice in your head. We call it the ego, and how to really listen to that higher voice and have a map on how to do that and how to dig deep into your past and where that voice even came from. So if you're thinking, I'm not good enough to do this course, or this is maybe, you know, too much of an investment, whatever, like you're telling yourself that. And it's all about kind of stepping into what is your intuition? What's that gut reaction? Like, are you excited about things? Like, what is it that you want to do? And listen to that voice. And someone asked, what's all included in the course? So we did do a full video last week on everything that's included in the course. That link that we just dropped in the comments, and I'll also put it back here. That will show you everything that's included. You know, we've got module workbooks, module videos, we've got a hypnotherapy session, we've got a self-love meditation, a whole bunch of different things. And then as well, we also have, you know, like all those extra bonuses that we've included. And we've priced it so that it can work with everyone's budget. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. I'll just share this out. And so our price is $349 right now, plus you get that $25 discount. Then we also have a payment plan option should you decide to do that. That's 4 payments of $95. So really, when you take a look at that, that's a couple of nights out, or you know, maybe that's whatever, some sort of subscription that you have. There's always a way to make it work, right? So Ali, she's just got the website there pulled up. That's that link. So it can, as you
that link, ambitionbabes.com/buildconfidence/now. This really breaks it down for you so you can see the bonuses, everything that you get. Also that you get 50% off our next course that we offer, which is our PACE course. So that's half off that course. So all of this is all laid out for you really, really well. We've got our exclusive offer, the Babe 25, to save $25 off your purchase. That's including the payment plan. So your first payment would be $70. So this is everything that you get, all your bonuses. This is all laid out here. And then once you get started, you'll have a login credential. So you'll have lifetime access to that course material. So you'll always be able to rewatch it, go through it. You've got an interactive workbook. So all of this is all available to you here at Build Confidence Now.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, again, you can directly reach out to us and we will answer them. Thanks again to all the amazing people that have already got their registration. They're in it. Some people are already like halfway through the course. So they're just like flying through it. So that's amazing. That's the great thing about a PACE course. You can go as quickly or as slow as you need to. So that's really awesome. And then of course, we always love feedback, because as Todd talked about, that's how we grow and we learn, right? So we love to hear feedback. So again, thank you so much for you guys taking the time out of tonight. Give it up for Todd once more. We love him so much, and sending you all love during this crazy time, but we can still create amazing things. 2020 is not a write-off. This is a chapter for you to create. So let's get to writing. Let's get to creating an amazing chapter for the rest of this year. And, take this time, whether you've got summer plans or whatever, there's always time to fit in even 10 minutes watching the video here, maybe doing an exercise, because a lot of what we have within our workbooks, it's not just reading and just watching and learning. Like tonight was really great. You're able to take notes. But what we do in our courses is we ask questions and we get you to dig, and we do specific experiences with you so that you can start identifying like, oh, wow, okay, this is where it shows up. So again, it's so the timing of what you're doing this is so flexible, but it really allows you to take it to the next level. So we're just so excited for you guys.
Amazing. All right, I gotta go sit with my kids at Truman, so I gotta go.
Too funny. Okay, bye guys. Good night.